Oh yeah,
All of the animated shows,
ended.
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Spectacular Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the X-Men were all canceled, and then they well, technically not with X-Men, but like they started their own Spider-Man cartoon, their own Avengers cartoon, which sucked. So like this is I think this is all just the fact of them winding down Kurtzman's studio with Paramount Plus. I don't think that this is a DEI. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it's that per se. I feel like the Ellisons are just as happy though because they are in the on that political spectrum's pocket. So I really feel like that they probably that's probably a part of it, or at least they're happy about it. Um, but yeah, I really feel like that this is probably a behind the scenes decision. Is it crappy timing? Absolutely. I'll let Lord Donkey talk about that because actually me and him were talking about this behind the scenes the other
Mm.
day. But Donkey, what are your thoughts?
Um, I agree to an extent. I feel like it makes sense that they would want to stop production like that and start fresh. What I'm wondering about is because I was just looking this up before we started. Kurtzman's contract ends at the end of this year, from what I understand. So they're in negotiations. I keep hearing that he's canceled, he's done, which technically he is unless they re-sign because they did that 5 year extension in 21. So maybe this is just a tactic on their part. It just seems very um, strange. I don't know. Um, it just seems off that they would cancel this show right as the first season ends and not at least wait until season two airs. Like they could have stopped production. They could have said, we're not going to start producing season three until after Kurtzman's contract is resolved. But maybe they are using that as a tactic to say, well, if we don't go back with you, we'll just um, not do season three. Um, so it's strange that they're doing this now, um, and I don't know. I don't feel like it's the end of Academy. I don't feel like it's the end of um, Strange New Worlds, anything. I feel like this is just the first move in this game that they're playing.
All right, Jefferson, or yeah, Jefferson, go ahead. Let's hear from you. By the way, welcome to the stream. We
Why are
can't
you
hear you.
muted?
All right. Well, he figures that out. Zam, what are your thoughts on
Can you
this?
hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Go
sorry
for
about
it.
that.
Go
The
for it.
button was muted. Um, I've got a hell of a rant. So Zam, if you want to go next, be my guest.
All right. I'll let you rant last. Um, Look, the moment the Ellisons bought Paramount, I wasn't surprised it's got cancelled. I mean, it was great that season two got completed, but now I almost feel like what's the point of even watching season two? Like, well, there's no progression after this.
Hmm.
It might even end on a cliffhanger, which would be even worse if that's the case. Um,
I thought somebody said season two does end on a cliffhanger. Like that, I thought
oh,
somebody said that, and I don't know where I
But there
can't
were
see it real
reshoots
quick.
though, also.
Yeah,
Well,
there
they
are going
just
to be
ended,
reshoots.
so
They're going to discover it. They're going to do
hmm.
reshoots for it to end it. So
there's it. God, it's like I do look. I just I know people are saying new studios, new ideas, but those new ideas are Ellison ideas as well. And I'm really worried the direction Star Trek's going to go under. I jokingly said in different posts on Facebook, including yours, Jefferson, that it's going to be six white guys in space, chewing jerky. They're going to be from various red states in America. That's the diversity we're going to see. I think anyone who's who's not white is going to probably be a villain or killed off very early in the episode for the sake of the plot. And we're going to be seeing people with skirts, women in skirts getting ass slapped, in pretty much every episode as well. So I'm worried like the level of it's going to be quite backwards in its ideology, and it's going to be a bit more gung ho, and they're going to be lock and loading and all of this shit. This was it's more to do with what the aftermath than Starfleet Academy ending. It's ending. It's done. Not much more we can do about it. I don't think if we protest, it's going to come back. The Ellisons have got their ideas with Star Trek. They've got their hooks in Star Trek, and they're going to take it to a strange new world. Pun intended. I got more to say, but you know what? I want Jefferson to probably say stuff that I'm probably not even thinking of saying that I would probably agree with. So go for it, Jefferson.
All right. So what I want to say, and I want to make sure you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep, we hear you.
I would like to give a round of applause to the Star Trek fans. Great job. You did it again. You got a Star Trek series canceled. I hope you guys are truly, genuinely happy that you could not be at peace with any Star Trek since the golden era, TNG, DS9, Voyager. Bitch and complain about Enterprise till it got canceled. Bitch and complain about Discovery, almost got it canceled. Bitch and complain a little bit about Strange New Worlds. Bitch and complain about Prodigy. But somehow you liked Lower Decks, which of course is juvenile humor that really was of no substance. Season 1 was okay, but after that just kind of went off a cliff, in my opinion. But go figure, that's the Star Trek that people seem to like. Bitch and complain about Picard. Bitch and complain about Academy. The first image for Star Trek Starfleet Academy came out showing the oh my god, what's
The
character's
Gemma
name?
Dark Klingon lady.
Yeah, half Klingon, half Dominion, half Jem'Hadar.
Laura Thok
Yeah, yep, that's right.
or Luna Thok, one of the two. I don't know.
The moment they did that, you got a female. You can tell by the actress's features that she's black. You guys were just ready to go, rip roaring. Let's just start bitching about this show. Oh my God, it's DEI. Oh my God, it's woke. A lot of you wouldn't even be able to define those words if asked, what does it mean? No, it's more of a, I learned this word on the internet. That's the attack word that everyone's going to use now. We're using that now. We're going to use that for the description of things we don't like. Well, congratulations. And you know what? They preemptively went ahead and said, Star Trek Year 1, not happening now. Congratulations, you got that canceled before it even started. So I hope you're all not every Star Trek fan. I'm just gonna blanket and say you, us, we. It's just easier that way. But I know it's not all of you. But good job
as a
The
collective.
haters.
as a collective. Good job, haters. You were able to do it. You got a Star Trek canceled because you could not deal with it. You had the trifecta of fandom hate, which is females, minorities, and children, or anyone under the age of 28. So if we don't get Star Trek that's nothing but straight white males slapping ass, you guys aren't going to be happy. You're just not. You're just not going to be happy. So don't even try to give me well, it's not Star Trek or it's not my Star Trek. Why don't you say what you want to say? You want to say, make America great again. When was America great? When? And for who? Just tell it like you want it. You want it back like it was in the 50s. The good old days of turning fire hoses on black people. You want to go back to where racism is okay and you can be bigoted and sexist and misogynistic and everything else, because we're in the golden age of no consequences and no accountability.
Everybody's
be
a
able to
keyboard warrior.
You do what?
Everybody's a keyboard warrior. They can
Yes.
be as racist as they want behind a keyboard, but they can't say it to nobody's face.
Everyone's a
And-
keyboard warrior.
That part.
Here is the perfect encapsulation of the days we live in. Have any of you watched the show on Amazon Prime, Reacher?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main star in that show, Alan Richardson, 6'4", the guy is a walking brick. I mean, he just does ungodly things in this show. And he's true to the character and how the character was written. It's not the Tom Cruise version. Reacher is this big-ass dude that can't walk through a doorway. You don't fuck with him. Well, this jackass in this rich neighborhood decides, oh, I'm going to get in this guy's way when he's on his motorcycle because I think he's going too fast. So I'm going to just stand right in front of him and push him off his motorcycle because I don't expect any consequences. I could just do what I want. And the guy got taught a lesson. Well, and that was after doing everything he could to instigate an issue. And that just tells you that if you have the balls to fuck with the guy that size, that muscle mass, because you are confident nothing's going to happen. That's the problem. That's the problem right there, is because nobody's afraid to bitch and complain about anything because you're not worried about somebody throwing hands on you. I remember a time, this is way back. I'm showing my age now. I'm going to be 49 this year. I'm showing my age. I remember back in a day where you kind of had to watch what you said to somebody in person because you couldn't just say whatever the fuck you wanted and expect no consequences. You might get rocked. You might get hit in the jaw, and you didn't have a keyboard to protect you for everything. So you maybe kind of watched a little bit of what you said, but no. Now we live where it's actually encouraged to be a dick and to complain about every damn thing that you see. I knew as soon as they released that first image, I knew
Mm-hmm.
it. I knew it was going to happen. You guys started bitching, complaining from that moment on, and I am not surprised that they canceled this. They're actually talking about not even putting out season 2. Just saying,
Yeah, I heard that.
Fuck you guys.
I wondered if they'd shelve it.
You can't be happy with
A
any
tax
goddamn
write-off.
thing. So we're not even going to show it because we don't want to listen to a whole other season of you guys using buzzwords. You're woke and your DEI buzzwords and you're complaining. It's like, you know what? I hope that we don't get any Star Trek ever, because we don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You've been loud and clear. You're going to not be happy no matter what it is. So if I were, well, here's the problem though. The problem is that as long as the Ellison family thinks that they can make a profit, that's all it is. It's all profit, corporate greed. If they can suck a little bit of profit out of the Star Trek intellectual property, the IP, they'll keep doing it. And I wish they would stop. I really hope that there's no more Star Trek, because I'm tired of listening to you guys complain on social media every day about the same thing, bitching, complaining about all of it. And oh my God, when Jaden, the Klingon played by a black man, once he started showing a gay/queer tendencies, I said that's it. I can't wait to see the bitching and complaining online. And there was a scene where Jet Reno and Laura Thok were holding hands. I said, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It's just, it's almost like, I don't know. I saw it coming, and I think we all did at this point.
Yeah, we did.
At this point, we all are conditioned to know when these keyboard warrior haters, I was about to say fat boys. All right, I'll say it. Haters and these Trek beards, you can tell in the different parts of the episodes. Oh, they're going to bitch about that. They're going to complain about that. Oh, that's going to have them just besides themselves. And it's a shame. It's a shame when you watch a Star
Yeah.
Trek episode and you actually can point out the parts where you know they're going to be lit up on their keyboards, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, you could watch TNG, DS9, Voyager, you know, all that stuff, and there was no telling what anybody was going to complain about. I mean, we didn't have social media really, so there wasn't a lot of that interconnectivity of talking to people. But now you can get to where you can call these things before it even happens.
We can call them in live in real time.
In real time. You see it and you're like, "Yep, that's going to be the part that's going to have them fired up this week." So that's my rant. My rant is, I really hope we don't get any more Star Trek, because that's what you deserve. You deserve no more.
I've actually.
But by the way,
Go ahead.
characters like Laura Falk, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Laura Thok.
Like she's a supporting character, so there was never really any focus on her anyway. Apart from her moment where she kind of consulted Jaden, but she was also in half the season. Like we were talking about, where the hell is she? You know, at times, because she wasn't in any of the episodes in the latter half of the season. So she wasn't even the forefront of the show, but yeah, people made a big deal about it anyway. And it goes to show, also, by the way, it goes to show, Jefferson, like, if any of Star Trek came out today in its current form, they'll be complaining about it being woke regardless. So I mean, Worf would be considered an issue because he's a timid Klingon by Klingon standards. If he came out, you know, Catherine Janeway being a female captain, you know, Chakotay being all Native American, and for some reason that would be an issue.
That's a problem.
You know, all of these things.
Worf is played by a black man. That's now a problem. Captain Janeway is a woman. That's a problem. Well, that was always a problem.
Yeah, they always
even Jean-Luc Picard following Kirk, this bold Englishman. You know what I mean? Like Shakespearean Englishman following Captain Kirk. You know.
Well, that's what it's like. It's like with Klingons. Yeah. It's like they'd be like, "Excuse me, we prefer our Klingons white in blackface."
Right. Yeah.
With
that's
no ridges.
Yeah, with no ridges. They smooth forehead. White.
We don't talk about them.
Blackface.
Yes. Give me proper Star Trek. Give me white men in blackface. Give me some of that. Let's go back to that part of Star Trek. Let's have some more of that. Let's just, you know, and no women on the command crew. If you're on the bridge, you're taking lunch orders, or you're opening hailing frequencies. I don't want none of this bullshit of you sitting in the captain's chair giving orders
with your shoes off.
With your shoes off? Oh my God. Wearing clothes?
I'm taking my
not in the
shoes off
kitchen
right now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with Jefferson at this point. Is like, after all of this is done, like, and I hate to say this because it sounds stupid, but it's actually true. It's like, do we deserve Star Trek?
Nope.
Like, do we deserve? Like, I want more Trek. I love more Trek, but then at the same time, you're right. Like, week in, week out, day in, day out, all we hear is the non-stop bitching and moaning of not even the majority, honestly. It's just the loudest people who just scream the loudest and just say, "Oh, not my Klingon. Oh, not my captain. Oh, she doesn't." And like, even the show made fun of the fact that what's her face didn't wear shoes, because the one character said, he's like, you're taking 4 pairs of boots and you don't even wear shoes. Like, they even had enough wherewithal to make fun of it. And it's like, come on, like, if a show can make fun of itself for stupid stuff like that, like, what are we doing here?
and here's why I'm extra heated. Is because this show, after almost every episode, the majority of them, had me pacing, waiting to podcast about it or talk about it, and I struggled to find a reason to give an episode lower than a 9. Just so it didn't look like I was given the same rating every time. It was hard to not give some of them a 10 because it was like, God damn, this is just some good, solid shit. And that's why I'm so pissed off at you Trekkies and Trekkers, was because I really felt like, I love season 3 of Picard. I like season 1 and 2 just fine. Season 3 was great. I like Discovery. I think they really turned it around. Second half of the first season and course corrected season 2, and they were able to fix things. Did not like Lower Decks, but you guys know that. But it's just like, to have a show that did so many little things that the previous shows they it's not that they didn't do, but this one seemed to have so many of those little things that you can't make it background noise. Lower Decks was background noise. Prodigy was mostly background noise. Pretty much, Picard, Discovery, Starfleet Academy, I had to watch and pay attention. It's not that I didn't want to watch it and pay attention, it's just it made you, because there were things you were going to miss if the show was only in your peripherals while you were, working from home or whatever. And there were too many treats that you could miss. So it's like undivided attention. And to get that canceled, got that taken away from us, it's like, you assholes, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to quickly say that I think Section 31 didn't do us any favors for sure. I mean, it's absolutely atrocious, and having that
good point
out. But I do want to see some of the positives now, from what we've got in this recent era. I wasn't the biggest fan of Discovery, but Discovery led us into Strange New Worlds, which gave us the Pike era, and we never had that. We got a proper send off for the Next Generation crew in Picard season 3. The bookend that they truly deserved, and watching them playing poker at the end around that table brought a tear to my eye. Like, yes, we're all together having fun, and this is how this legendary crew should be sent off, and I was so happy for that. We got to go into the 32nd century or whatever that may be. We got to go into a different period in the Star Trek ethos, which is amazing. We to go to this period and have a television show set in that particular timeline. These were like really great changes that was made to Star Trek, and to freshen things up a little bit. We had crossover episodes as well of various types with the Lower Decks guys and stuff like that. A lot of good came from this. A lot of alternative came from this. But I just want to also add that this is why so much shit has come down on Star Trek, because Star Trek is the liberal show. Star Trek is the progressive show. It's not the right wing show. It's not the backwards show. The white picket fence show. It's not none of that. Every season, every series of Star Trek has had a diverse cast. Has had people from all manners of life, and it was constantly doing that. As norms were becoming normal, like homosexuality and transgenderism and gay relationships and stuff like that. These things were being put on our screens, and they just couldn't fucking handle it. The opposition,
But now we get to have red hats.
Yeah, they couldn't handle seeing stuff that was that in this particular future would not be frowned upon. And that's how it was expressed. The same way, an interracial kiss wouldn't be frowned upon, in the
Hmm.
TOS era, or having a diverse cast, a Russian, a Japanese American, an African lady, not African American, an actual African lady on the bridge crew, and all of this, a mixed race Vulcan, half human, all of these things, you know, it was already showing progressiveness and what the future could be, and so were these current shows, and they just didn't like it. It's too woke. It's all this, and what? Let's just be honest now. Woke is just a buzzword for racism and bigotry and fascism, and it always will be. When people complain about stuff being woke, they tend to be quite bigoted, in my opinion.
It's the current trendy MAGA Republican buzzword. It's their
Hmm.
trendy, but they love their
Oh, it's being used
buzzwords,
by us as well, mate. Unfortunately,
huh?
when it gets used by us, like when you have female commentators in male sports and
Oh
shit
God,
like that. You know what I mean? Like it's
they
all
just come out of the
wokeism,
woodwork then.
or a female referee refereeing a male match, like a male soccer match. And we've had many of them, and one of these referees is superb, by the way. But regardless, she's a woman, so it's woke. You know,
And
I just want to read out one or two comments here.
yeah.
So, uh, SGU Distant Hope says that Laura Thok was great. She somehow combined the personalities of a Klingon and a Jem'Hadar. Not sure how I would have directed / written that, but she nailed it. And I
Mm.
agree. I love Laura Thok. I
hmm.
thought she was a great, especially. I just wish we had more. Like
Oh yeah,
I can criticize the series because I don't think we got enough Laura Thok. I think that they had one good scene
absolutely.
with her with Jaden, and they really should have leaned into that, and they didn't. So I can criticize a show without going to the basic, oh, it's gay woke nonsense. Like,
Uh,
That sounds like something you'd say.
yeah, I mean,
I,
absolutely.
I know I've already yabbered up, but regarding Laura Fox, for me personally, I'm neither here nor there because we've only had one fucking season, and she's only been in a handful of episodes, so I never got the chance to really appreciate this character, or not appreciate the character because
Learn
it's
more,
over before
like
it's
learn
over
to,
before it's even started.
yeah.
But the thing is, though, you do have to watch out for overutilizing a character that does not scale. Uh, all the people that are like, we want a Captain Worf series, we want a Klingon series. No, you don't. No, you don't. Worf and the Klingons, they don't scale. And by that, I mean they're great when you don't use them a lot. That's
Mm.
your golden goose. You don't want a whole series because you can't stretch that out to be good every episode for a season. They're not that kind of character. So uh, I think with Laura Thok, the same thing is she's one of those characters that is great if you don't fall into the trap of overutilizing because that's it's a balance. It's hard to explain, but you just kind of know, like you know which characters are the ones that you don't want to see too much of because then it's going to lose the magic. You can't have a Captain Worf series. You might think you want it, but you don't because it's not going to scale well. Uh, and you didn't want a whole lot of Paul Giamatti in this season of Starfleet Academy. As
Hmm.
great as he was, as much as I loved seeing him every time he was on the screen, it was just enough. That character does not scale to an entire season
No, he's like
of
John
every
Delan.
episode.
He's like John Delancey's Q. He's good once a season or two.
And it was a special moment when Q came in.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Once
no,
a season, maybe twice a season, and
Especially when
that
Ben
was it.
Sisko punched him in the face.
yeah, right.
Well, and that's why he never
He's
came back in
a
DS9 because
reoccurring
they didn't know
villain.
what to do with them. They didn't know what to do with the
Mhm.
characters. I was like, that's fine. I'm glad Q didn't fit for DS9, but he did fit for Voyager. Okay, great. That's fine. But they did the same thing. They didn't overutilize the good character that they had. So I was happy with as much as we got Laura Thok. I was happy with as much as we got Jet Reno, which we got more of her than I
Yeah,
thought
I
we
loved
would.
all the Jet Reno we got. Hold on, what before we continue, I want to address something really quick. So
Okay.
Poseidon in the comments, Poseidon, come here. Just you and me here. Look.
Come here.
Just you and
What?
me for a second, okay? See, I am your straight white representative here on this conglomerate here.
Hold on, I don't know what you're talking about.
Never, you're not straight. Shut up. Go back to being repressed.
Wow, I will. Thank you.
Whoa.
So you say no original woke is what the original Star Trek was all about. The new ultra left woke stuff is merely discrimination against straight or white straight male characters. Gene's vision, race is irrelevant. I have watched every single episode of Star Trek, of New Trek, except for the animated series, which we will get to eventually here. I have watched everything. I have never, ever in my life felt discriminated against in Trek. Now, you want to be discriminated against in Trek? Go watch the first season of TNG, episode 4. What is that one called? Code of Honor? Or no?
Code of Honor. Oh my God. Oh.
You go watch Code of Honor and you tell me that black people in the history of Star Trek have not been discriminated against. Okay? Okay. So what you think that just gay? I'm going to bring everybody back up here. The joke's over. But still, like,
Hi.
I wanted to have a moment, donkey. I know you like being the center of
Special.
attention and all, but anyway.
You're right. That was
I know.
episode 4. They did that early in the season before they even really had any clout. They took
Had to get that out of the way.
Wow. I'm glad they did.
But that's what I'm saying is like
you burned that early.
You are calling discrimination by them existing.
Yeah.
That's called segregation, not discrimination.
Somebody like me is never in Star Trek. So I'm yet to see a person of Indian descent, regardless of what their nationality might be, but somebody of my race represented in Star Trek, and I've never ever felt like I should be represented. Unlike some of these other people who feel that they are so privileged in a way by saying, that there's discrimination against white people. What right does white people always have to be in Star Trek? You could have an entire crew with not a single white person on it. And I think there might have been stuff like that out there in not just Star Trek, but in other shows. And white men have felt totally alienated because there's not one person in this show or series that looks like them, and it really pisses them off. Well, welcome to my fucking world, but I'm not pissed off about it. All that matters to me is the show any good. And
I feel
Right.
so
That's what we're seeing in the
bad.
comments.
I feel so bad for straight white males. Oh, I feel bad
man.
for
Well,
you.
you look at
Hundreds
the
of thousands of
cadets.
years, and how dare we? Oh my God.
You know what?
Now, Sam,
I appreciate that, Jefferson. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Look
Yeah,
at
Zam,
the
no offense,
cadets,
but-
though. There's one straight white, well, maybe straight, but white character among the cadets, but he's a fish person. A Kyonian.
He's another. He's an alien race.
So
But that's the thing. It's like what?
there's no
why?
representation.
Oh, well, hold on, Zam, real quick. And no offense, but what about Dr. Bashir and his parents? Weren't they of Indian descent?
I think they may be Middle Eastern. I think possibly.
Right, like around. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not Indian, mate. That's Middle Eastern. That's
I could
Man,
all
swore
different.
you know what?
that
We're
they
in
implied
the
Indian.
bomb zone, like for America. So we it's okay. It all
Bashir,
makes-
Bashir, don't get me wrong, he is
Yeah,
he
I'm
is
gonna-
like me in the sense that he's one particular culture but brought up in another because he's obviously British.
Finlanders.
But
Hmm.
he's about as close as I guess. But
Jim,
regardless,
I
you know.
would love Jim Herman. I would love for there to be a Finlander in in Star Trek.
I mean,
But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, like
It
if
could
we were to
work.
start rotating through the nationalities and every show,
Just
like
with the amount of
every
Indians
show,
in the UK. Well, we are a British colony. India itself is a British colony, and now the tides have turned. I guess because there's so much pillaging has been
It's
happened by the British in Asia that we have to now leave our own countries to come to where it all fucking happens, which is Europe and the UK.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
so a Finlander, would you know a Finlander if one walked past you? Aren't they all like blonde hair, Caucasian, blue eyed?
what are you trying to say?
we all
Nothing.
look the same.
We all
I
look at
shouldn't have even tried.
No, but I mean, you're right. It's like, but it's just, it's so asinine. Like, and sometimes, and I know this person came in and probably just troll baited and then just left. He's probably not even here anymore. But it's just
I feel like
like
we've seen Jim Herman before.
Poseidon.
I don't know. Oh,
No.
Poseidon,
I'm talking
maybe.
about Poseidon with the
Oh,
whole like, oh, I don't, like
Oh yeah, I know the guy who was choking for about 5 seconds.
yes, that was
And
representation.
yeah, and by the way, he was also killed off in Octopussy, and that actor is not an actor; he's actually a tennis player.
Okay.
wow. Okay. Man, that was a bit more of a tidbit than I expected. Good job, Zam.
Thank you.
I have
but yeah.
a topic we can roll into whenever we're done with this.
Oh no, let's go ahead. Let's roll. What do you got for us, Donkey?
It's
Dan
just what I
Orton.
mentioned in the chat the day after it happened there. Like, we have Skydance, the big American corporation, coming in and just messing with our shows. This one in particular, done after 2 seasons, maybe if they even air the second season at this point. And what I first thought of as soon as that was announced, because I learned about it from an Instagram. It popped up when I was on Instagram from the guy who plays Jaden. He put a message into his like group chat for the fans about it, and it just hit me right there that wow, draws an exact parallel to what happened with the last 2 episodes of Doctor Who. They were with
Episodes or
Disney's
seasons?
involvement. It's BBC, but it's Disney's involvement for the last 2 seasons and the 60th, which they had in 23 for Doctor Who. They came after the 60th. David Tennant regenerated into Ncuti Gatwa, who was a very, bright, loud, queer doctor, and they shut it down after 2 seasons. They didn't give him a chance. Disney was holding it back. They didn't want to agree to renew the season, renew it with him. So he said, I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm going to go do other things. Now we have
Hey, Sleepy
a
Fresh.
similar where we have Jaden, the out gay character on the show, and also after 2 seasons, we're done. And it's this other company that came in and said, okay, we're just going to scrap everything.
So
And
oh, go ahead. Finish.
it's just at least with Doctor Who, it's not going to be ruined. It's owned by the BBC. They're not going to destroy it like the Ellisons can go ahead and just destroy Star Trek now. So if there was someone else that had the rights, like if the Roddenberry organization had the rights to it or something. But it's just sad that we're stuck in this situation that someone can just scoop up Paramount and say, "Hey, we're just going to take the show and completely bend it a different direction."
Here's what they're signaling because of the consolidation of power. And Jim Herman, you're right. I was going to mention that captain from Star Trek 4. I was thinking about him, but yeah, you're right. what they're signaling with all of this is basically in your show, if the main character is a Goyim, you're canceled.
Mm-hmm.
You're gone.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, do a little looking up. Maybe the algorithm will find you on Instagram, but the writing's on the wall. And there's patterns forming here, people, and you're going to start seeing the kind of shows that the loud minority want. You're going to start seeing more of what you've been asking for. You're,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the world's fucked.
Slump.
You got what you voted for. Congratulations. So
Look,
we're
I'm
heading
looking
there in so
forward.
many different ways, and our entertainment is one of them.
I'm looking forward to seeing our cast of this new Star Trek. On the Intrepid. Jim Bob ship we called, and they're going to be, and the
Jim
names are
Bob
going to be.
Shepley.
Yeah, and they're going to be, and our characters are going to be called Earl and Rufus, and
It's just
and
going to be the Beverly
Jimmy,
Hillbillies on the
and
Enterprise.
So I'm going to push back a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I
No,
agree
no,
with you that yeah, like you're going to have a white captain. You're going to have you're going to have a white first officer. You're going to have like a white, your main trifecta probably of like main characters is probably
maybe
going to
one
be
black guy.
maybe
And he's
one
going to
black
be
guy is the token
he'll be
guy.
like the butt of all jokes. He'll be a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. And on top of that, when they go on the
He'll answer the
holodeck,
phone on the wall. Like, why is there a phone on the wall on the starship?
when they go on the holodeck, it's just going to be Western. You know what I mean? They're gonna be Western the whole fucking time they're on a holiday. They're gonna be yeehawing and shit like that. And then there'll be one episode about one of the hollow cows goes missing, and they have to rustle up. And
Hollow
you see them,
cow?
you're gonna see them with their fucking hollow horse and shit, going down the corridors, lassoing the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Zam, I think we need to make some fan fiction here.
And
well, that's actually what I was going to say is that probably what the Ellisons are going to do is they're just going to steal all the fan films and just release those as episodes of Star Trek. Like, they're just going to be either that or they'll just steal the scripts and like just, actually give it a budget and, not an actual real budget, just like here's a paper clip and $500 and now you get to make an episode.
we're gonna have an abundance of pew pew episodes. By the way, you're gonna love that, Cheeto.
Michael Bay can be the new showrunner.
Oh God, no. Now, Cheeto, you did. Speaking of Star Trek fan films, SU Distant Hope is right. You did commit a little bit of sacrilege, pulling in Intrepid as
I did not
example.
Bring in Intrepid.
Who said it? Who
Zam did.
Zam.
I never said Intrepid.
Then who said Intrepid?
The comment right there. That's Nick Cook. That's Nick Cook's ship.
I didn't say Intrepid.
I did say it. I was just trying to think of a way of incorporating Jim Bob. As the name of the starship.
It's the USS MAGA Plus.
The USS MAGA, yeah.
The Donald Trump, yeah.
NCC 12345.
They're going to name all the ships after Donald Trump's family members.
The Trump class starship.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There will be a diaper changing station in every quarter.
It'll have like the littlest nacelles. Like there'll be just like these little nacelles on the back. Like
and the deflector dish will just be a long tie. It goes beyond the engineering section.
Oh!
Yeah, I did.
Guys, we've got some good ideas.
We should really.
We really should make some mega Star Trek fan stuff. Parody.
I mean, you're talking to the right guy. Jefferson's in that director's wheel.
I can make it happen.
First warp's head ship.
Oh, you know what? And then they all turn into salamanders, and then they're like,
Then Donald can have salamander babies with Ivanka.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Man. You're going to end up getting yourself... If someone... Lord Donkey, do your disclaimer right now. You're not suicidal. You wouldn't hurt yourself.
Nope,
you're happy.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching your background to see if somebody just like comes in and snatches you. Right now, it's like, oh wait a minute, did I hear someone knocking on my door?
No, just about.
So, No,
Just
I'm
come
trying to get
outside.
the
We just want
dog
to talk.
to show
I
that
like
she's here to defend me.
Board and Cork. He said we did make MAGA Trek. Those are the Terran Empire episodes.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, like the DS9 Terran episode. Kira Nerissa in there is actually like Ivanka when she snaps, or not Ivanka. I'm sorry, Melania when she snaps.
Well, she
He
came out
cuts
with
all her
that
hair off.
a robot the other day.
Which one was the robot?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hashtag too far. Yeah. Right. I don't know. I just
We
again,
have to if we don't laugh at it, what else is there to do? I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm very discouraged, as I said. I mean, you know, as the straight white representative here on NerdTube, you know,
yes.
it's discouraging because it's like, you know, I feel like I'm part of, like, not me myself, but like I'm a part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like I can sit there and I can watch Trek for years and not feel excluded. I watched Discovery for years until people started saying, "Hey, oh, I don't have representation." I didn't even notice. Like I never even noticed that there was not technically a straight white guy at all, period, on Discovery until somebody pointed it out to me, and I'm just like, "What? Okay, listen here, SG, distant hope. I am straight."
He's an ally. He's been to the gay bar. He's been to drag shows.
I have
with
been to the
me.
gay bar. That's true.
He has some
Yeah.
gay coding, but don't worry about that.
He's vouched for.
Listen, I love the gay bars. They're more fun than the regular ones.
Cheeto, are you a bear?
A bear? No.
It's blushing.
Dan,
how you doing?
I want to show you something. 1 second.
Oh.
The fate of Starfleet Academy was sealed even before it was filmed. Paramount never had any intentions of renewing Secret Hideouts. And but that's what I was saying in the beginning, was that I thought that this was yes, I get the internet backlash, but I also felt like that this was kind of destined because of Secret, and that's the Secret Hideout. That's the name of the company, of Kurtzman's company. I did think that they are canceling a lot of this stuff because Kurtzman's era is coming to an end. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Starfleet Academy should be carried over. I think we should get 5, 6, 7 seasons of Starfleet Academy. I want to see where these cadets go from here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I hate the fact that we have to cancel everything, like, because they're canceling Strange New Worlds. They canceled everything.
No Trek is in production.
Yeah, like nothing is being carried over. And it's like, why can't we? Go ahead, Zim.
I wanted to see these guys go from academy to being Starfleet officers in the next 10, 20, 30 years of watching these guys, and just seeing them progressing, showing that we saw them as babies, our little babies.
A perfect pipeline.
And next thing you know, in 10, 20 years' time, of whatever show we might be getting, the actor who plays Caleb is now a Starfleet captain. We've watched him grow into that position. That would have been so amazing, but we're not going to get any of that. And then maybe, seeing things going full circle, or maybe them ending up being a teacher and teaching the next generation, no pun intended, of kids in Starfleet Academy. But I just want to quickly show you something, because there's a guy on YouTube I watch called Dusty Smith. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend people watch his show called The Cult of Dusty. It's absolutely fantastic. And he's got a segment on his show called Chud Watch. And this is the intro for Chud Watch. Check it out.
Chud Watch.
Chud Watch. Talking about Chud Watch. We talk about Johnson and make fun of him.
And first up, under that Chud Watch.
That alone makes $5 a gallon worth it.
And
wasn't that great?
I mean, I love the hair. I think that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was obviously mocking Donald Trump when he did it as well. So,
well, I mean, we always love mocking Donald Trump. He's an idiot. So,
yeah,
it's so easy.
It is. It's very easy.
Fucking imbecile.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that this guy's the. Yeah, I'm sorry for tangenting here, but this guy's the president of the United States. I still can't believe it.
He's
This
the
fucking
perfect
child.
embodiment
But
of this
let's
country.
but let's be very,
Yeah.
very, very clear here. Like we say we're tangenting on Donald Trump, but here's the thing. He's the source of a lot of this bravery from all of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
imbeciles. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's the reason why all these people are getting so embrazen to be like, I can be a racist. I can be a bigot. Yeah, don't clip that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, like it
No, look,
boggles my
there's a guy
mind
called Nick
how
Fuentes. There's a guy called Nick Fuentes. I mean, he's very famous now, and the way
I keep
he's
seeing
extremely anti-Semitic, hates on Jewish people a lot. You know what I mean? And he's not like someone like me who's anti-Zionist and anti-Israel in the sense that they're doing a genocide of the Palestinians. No,
Be
this
careful,
guy
the Zionists killed
hates.
Charlie Kirk for speaking out.
Yeah, and this guy speaks out. He just hates Jews, just generally, and he's become very popular because of that. Bigoted, being a fascist, being a bigot, it's profitable. There's
Yeah.
people making serious dough out of this as well.
Nick Fuentes is spitting some truth, though. He's laying out some facts. A lot of stuff you might not want to hear, but
look, I know there's a whole bunch of people who are broken clocks, Jefferson, but
mhm.
they're still, regardless, just because they bring out a fact doesn't mean that they're not assholes. You know what I mean? They're not the sort of person I would.
You can be an
I would
asshole and be
run to.
right.
Yeah, you could be an asshole and be right, but he's still at the same time his whole premise is white supremacy. Regardless of the way he shits on all demographics, he's just a terrible person. Even if and I do enjoy listening to him in the sense that he does make me laugh because he's such a fucking idiot. But it's like the same way people will listen to Alex Jones. He's a fucking idiot. I don't actually take him seriously. He just amuses me. But there is a fine line there as well. Knowing that these people are bad people, regardless of what they say. Yeah.
That emboldening.
Yeah.
Didn't Fuentes just turn on Trump though because of the Iran war?
These guys, they turn on Trump and then they're back in bed with Trump.
Yeah.
People like Tucker Carlson's the same.
And they called
lot of-
John Kerry a flip flopper.
A lot of people really turned when it was completely obvious that they had Kirk assassinated, and it wasn't that kid that they pinned it on. It was a fucking Mossad operation. Like anyone who thinks that was anything less than him being silenced because he started speaking out, he was their golden boy of getting young right-wing people into the pipeline and started speaking out. They had him killed, just like they had JFK killed, just like they had Abraham Lincoln killed. Anyone who goes against the Zionists or the central banking gets killed. And now with the emboldening that's been given to these people, it's getting our stuff canceled. It's getting our Star Wars canceled, Doctor Who canceled, Star Trek canceled. They're going to just cancel and destroy anything that does not fit their little worldview because now they're emboldened.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that it's quite interesting that not long after Stephen Miller threw his bitch ass in the ring to complain about Starfleet Academy, that suddenly a day and a half later it gets canceled.
Oh yeah. He
telling me
he said Shatner should come back and run
Shatner's
run
95 years old.
Yeah, 95. But Shatner just came out in support of Academy, saying that he supported the show.
Yeah, but I also think Shatner's trying to get back in the good graces with Trekkies because that's his bread and butter, and because he did he did say that what did he say about New Trek a year ago or something like that? Like he said something negative about New Trek, and it's just like so now but then he realized, oh, Star Trek fans, the majority of Star Trek fans don't like it when I talk crap about this current Trek. It's only the loud minority that that we hear. But he's like, wow, he got such backlash from talking negatively about Star Trek
Hmm.
that he knows Trek's his bread and butter until the day he dies. Sorry.
There's
Yeah,
the
recent-
infamous, when did Star Trek get so woke?
recent
Well,
comments.
and that's Borden
Borden Cork?
Cork.
Borden Cork.
You raise a very good
Right,
point.
right.
So basically, it was outed that there were influencers and social media people. They were getting promised $7,000 checks to be pro-Israel. So that's the thing, is you can be bought. So if you want someone to speak ill about something you don't like, people can be bought. Everyone has a price tag, and it's a shame. And of course, they're all online bitching about that because they got stiffed. They didn't get paid their
Shocking. Trump
their
doesn't pay
good
someone?
boyum allowance. Right, shocking. But that's the problem.
People are still waiting
is-
for their Doge checks, by the way.
I'm still waiting
Yeah.
for my Doge check
Oh, yeah. Oh.
and my Terra
Let's get some-
check.
We need to get to some comments. Cheeto,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. I mean, how far back we going?
Cheeto, stop queering
how
up the
far
place
back?
and get on the comments.
She's scared
They're
because
They're on the screen. That's why I put them on the screen, so we don't have
Oh.
to call every single one out.
Oh,
Um,
so what's Zam talking about then? Yeah, I see them.
Zam's half asleep. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So I do want to address this comment right here, though. I did
Okay.
a little bit ago. The problem with Star Trek is facing is if its brand of storytelling can survive the streaming world, because it is starting to look like it can't. I actually disagree. I think that the Star Trek can't survive this brand of social media landscape, is what I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the brand of storytelling. I think it's the now. Don't get me wrong. I agree with
Yeah.
you. I think you made the other. I think Board, you made the other
The
comment
10
about.
episode is hurting it.
Yeah,
But
like
No,
you're
the
right,
10 episode thing isn't. That's not hurting it.
I believe it is. So I'll disagree with you on that one, but
It's the social media landscape.
they could,
well, no, it is. That's
It's people that get
I think it
paid
can be
to
both,
say
though.
stuff. When you can
I
get
think
paid to say something negative or even something positive, we're in that part now where so professions for this generation, for Gen Z, they don't want to work. They want to podcast and influence and be on the camera and make the money that way, which means that they absolutely would say yes to a $7,000 check to say something pro-Israel or to say something against Starfleet Academy, because that is their employment. Whereas with me, podcasting and being an influencer is not my job. I'm Gen X. I know what it's like to work an actual job. I'm not. If you came to
We
me
all
with
do.
money to say something, whatever, it's not going to be like, oh, thank you. Now I'll be able to pay my bills because my podcast isn't making enough money. It's like, no,
I don't
I've
feel
got a
like
job.
generation has much at all to do with it, though.
Hmm?
Saying
we need to get
that
back to the
Gen
comments.
Z just doesn't want to work sounds like a boomer comment. Like
we are boomers. Shut up, Don.
there's people from all generations that just don't want to work and will go out there and find something like that and get paid to stand there on Trump Tower's railing to say that, hey, we're here in 2015 for his announcement. Like,
So
it's
I
everywhere.
already talked about that comment, Zam, but you can if you have something to say about it, go for it.
Now, what is the secret hideout contract?
That's okay. That's Alex Kurtzman's studio. That production studio.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize.
No, it's okay. I just want to let you know. I mean, if you have something to say about it, fine. I just want to let you know I already kind of talked about that. So, but yeah, that's Kurtzman's stuff.
Okay, Academy not the best show, but better than much of the new Trek with a great cast, really great, and I'm excited for season 2. It should be better now. It's a semi-fresh start after Braca is dealt with. Yeah, they probably would kill him off in the season. They may kill him off. I don't know. Probably dealt with. Yeah, but he was arrested at the end, so they kind of got him. So
I'm sure he'll turn up. Like if they want, I'm sure that he will turn up in season 2 at least once. Whether it's a hollow, like Oh, what you know, like on almost kind of like that episode, the Miyazaki episode, where or was it the Mitsubishi episode where they had to consult Braca, but like they're gonna be like, oh, we have to do it. We have to talk to Noose Braca. Then the next scene is them talking to Braca because they're trying to get inside the head of the new villain or whatever. Like they do that kind of that storytelling that they've done in the past. They did that in DS9. They did that in Voyager. Like
one of the fundamental things of Star Trek, which is something which is very hard to redo again and again and again because they've done it several times already, is just a ship floating through space and having little mini sort of like adventures, so to speak, these episodic adventures. And it's really difficult to consistently do that all the time, with TOS, with TNG, with Voyager, with Enterprise, with Strange New World, even Discovery. It's hard to keep repeating that formula. So when you have alternative shows like DS9 and like Starfleet Academy, like Picard even, which is more of a personal thing, and it's not necessarily about venturing out in space and discovering strange new worlds and all of that. It's quite refreshing in a way. It's like continuing with something that we already know and not being formulaic. And that's one of the reasons why I like Starfleet Academy, because it's something that we hear about all the time since the conception of Star Trek. Never really spent any time there. Now we are spending some time there, and it not being formulaic like that in a way is a breath of fresh air. Having to go back to the old tropey Star Trek is very difficult, and I don't know how you can keep refreshing that all the time. Look at Strange New Worlds. We've gone down that path so often that even Strange New Worlds is not even that enjoyable.
Hey, we have the Puppets episode to look forward to, though.
SGU. Well, I'll just call you Distant Hope. I do this comment. You are correct. It encourages positive for VIP access, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I have an issue. Like, I do watch Trek Culture a lot. Like, I do watch them, but at the same time, you can tell they're holding back their serious criticisms, at least at first, because they keep getting the interviews. And look, if the roles were reversed, if NerdTube got all the interviews with Alex Kurtzman, I wouldn't want to sit there and bash them to their face and say, which I wouldn't need to, because I don't think Starfleet Academy is a bad series. Now, do I think it was a perfect series? No. Do I think it was the best Star Trek? No. This podcast, or like this thing is not about whether it was good or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about, like, Starfleet Academy was excellent for some, good for some others, and not good for some others. And it's just like, it's like any Trek. You have your hits and misses. Like, you can't tell me.
I was very critical.
Huh?
Yeah, you too.
I was very critical, and I was critical on some episodes. I gave them some episodes low marks. I gave some episodes great.
Not all of us can be Lord Donkey and give it like 9s across the board.
The two of you and Mage all reached a 3 at one point.
Mhm.
Jefferson and I never went below.
Probably an 8.
Where's Jefferson? You didn't go below a 9, and I didn't go below an 8.
Yeah, but again, there's no problem with that, because it's just like, if you enjoyed it, fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Which
here's
is
the thing.
true. I went below an 8 on Strange New World season 3.
Yeah. Well, that's because
was
we also
fair
started
on
rubbing
that.
off on you.
Shito, I just want to
You
say
were.
to you that regarding like being like, if you're gonna give somebody an interview and talk about their stuff, you can be critical without shit talking.
Yeah.
You can talk things in a more intellectual and in a more somber fashion without sounding like a rude asshole. And that's probably the route I would go down if
let's
was
be
being
really
critical.
Let's be clear, Zam. We've had fan film creators on here where we've watched their films when we do the interviews afterwards, and we're kind of like, but then afterward we're kind of like, oof, that was a watch. That was a choice. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. We've done that before. And look,
Go on.
Yeah, right? Like, everything Jefferson has done. It's always, no, I'm kidding.
No, you make a good point, but when you're like stepping up a level or two, and you're getting people who could have good influence on your channel and stuff like that, and you don't want to like unnecessarily shit the bed with them. I've learned that with people like Vance as well, by the way. I overstepped the mark in some of the stuff I initially said, and I'm trying to be yeah, less critical in a
I-
in an aggressive, harmful way. I do like saying, I do like using the term of something is so bad it makes me want to kill myself, but I like to use that as an analogy of how bad
it's not
that
even.
thing is I'm watching. But regardless, I still try to keep things to a level
All right.
nowadays.
Well,
Hmm.
anyone else have any final thoughts? I mean, I think we need to wrap it up. It's been about an hour. We
Yeah,
kind of talked this to
I
death.
gotta go
I
to
mean,
bed.
yeah, we've done all the different avenues. I mean, but basically the bottom line is we're frustrated with what's going on with Trek right now. I mean, some of us think it's, I mean, honestly, we
We're
can
going
all
into the
agree.
60th anniversary with
Yeah.
this cloud overhead. I mean,
Not surprised, but I'm not surprised it got cancelled. Like I said, once the takeover happened, this
no,
was
but
inevitable.
I didn't
But
think it was
again,
going to be right after season one.
and I'm not convinced that this is not, as I said, a behind the scenes thing where they're just like, but
Yeah,
I agree with Donkey 100% that they could have at least waited till season 2 aired to cancel it. Like when is season,
that
like
made
if
more
this merger
sense.
is not happening, why do they need to cancel it now rather than waiting until season 2 comes out? When's the merger happening? When, like if season 2 even comes out, like if they were to announce season 2 is not
What
coming out,
the WB merger?
yeah,
They've
the
already,
Warner
the
Brothers Discovery
Paramount
merger.
merger's done, right? So,
No,
But
no, the sale has happened. The merger's not happened. I think
oh,
the
but, but,
deal has been reached, but I
and
think it's
then now
still
we're
got.
throwing WB into it. Yeah.
But to distant hope, by the way, I just want to say that I'm very much looking forward to now seeing what anti-woke Star Trek's going to be. I'm curious beyond belief to see what they're
I'm
going to
not going
bring
to be
to the table.
subscribing to watch that
Yeah.
though.
Well,
I
but
need to see what makes Star Trek, their vision. Obviously,
I want
they
to
want
see
to
that.
bring it on. I
here's
need
the
to see
thing.
it. I need to see it.
I want to play devil's advocate here, though, in that case, and basically say let's not be what the right are, like not even the right, but like the anti Kurtz. Let's not hate it just to hate it. You know what I
They're
mean?
the
Like,
right, dude. They are the right.
well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like, the anti
yeah.
woke Trekkies, the Trek beards. I think as Jefferson coined them as. I don't know if you started
I like
that, but I love it. Trek beards, yeah, the Trek. Like,
I
I
started
don't
it, Trek Beards.
copy.
I don't want us to be the Trek beards now for this new Trek. If they do new Trek, I'm going to give it an honest shot, but I will always champion the fact that the Kurtzman era
I,
got incredibly disservice from the Trek community.
if it goes down that path where it's just right wing Trek, I will just step away from it. Like
Yeah.
before the show, we were talking about Harry Potter. I'm not out here criticizing the new show. I just stepped away from it because I don't like the creator. Done with it.
And as I said, if it is bad, then it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, and if you need to step away with it because of
Yeah.
that, you got to go with your heart. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing that Trek's taught us.
What do you
best.
Faith of the
guys?
heart.
What do you guys think about this? And I know we're over on time, but I just thought of it. I wanted to get your guys' quick take on this.
Hmm.
So I was born in '77, and
Me too.
so we didn't see new television Star Trek until 1987 with TNG. In 1969 was when season 3 of Star Trek ended, and the animated series came back and then was gone in
72?
72.
Which is the unofficial season 4, by the way.
Right. So I think part of this problem is that a huge majority of Star Trek fans did not live through that 15-year drought of no Star Trek except for a movie maybe every 2 or 3 years. And we remember that. Like, our
It's the same with Star
generation
Wars,
remembers
by the
that.
way.
We know what it's like. We know what it's like to not have it, not to think, and to think you're not ever going to have it. We went through thinking that the original trilogy of Star Wars was all we were ever going to get, but I really think that the audience now, these young folks that have never been through an actual content drought do not know how to appreciate something.
That's me. I didn't start watching Trek until 2009 movie.
I was about to say there was a pretty significant drought, like show-wise, like from 2005 to like 2017 is when Discovery came back. So there was, I mean, yeah, you had a couple movies here and there when the Kelvin universe, but there was a significant drought between Enterprise and Discovery. You know what I mean? So like, you know, like I feel like we have, we have experienced it, but
I haven't though.
I think there's been a drought in
because I went
films,
back
by
and watched
the
the
way.
old stuff after the 2009 movie.
We haven't had any decent movies in a while. I just want to read a few comments before we sign off because the people have been flooding our comments here. I've heard speculation that sorry, I apologize. Where was the comment?
Yeah, Discovery was 2017.
My worry is all of the talk of budget cuts for the new Star Trek project, up to 50% lower cost per episode than Academy. Well, maybe I don't mind maybe going back a bit old school, using some practical sets and stuff like that. Who knows? I mean, that could be an interesting way to look at Star Trek in the future. But like I said, I'm just interested to see the new spin that is definitely going to be happening. I remember when Star Trek as a franchise consisted of around hundreds of hours of content. Yeah, those days are behind us, I'm afraid, because of budgets and stuff like that.
and I mean,
Yeah, you guys are right.
It's,
The drought between Enterprise and Discovery was about 13 years, about 2004 to 2017. Just a couple of years shy of the drought between TAS and TNG. So,
but we had films
Sure.
in between though. So yeah,
but I mean, yeah, I mean,
pretty big prime time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a pretty big prime time line drought from 2007. A hell of a long period, as we just mentioned. Yeah, movie drought for 10 years. We like I said, the last film we had was Section 31, which was
trash.
Oh, right, that counts as
it's the worst. You know, I know Cheeto still goes on Star Trek 5 being the worst, but Star Trek 5 has memorable moments. You know, that will live
Like the
long.
That's
The only reason why that is because Star Trek 5 has been out a lot longer, and we grew up with it. Like, I'm sorry, like I would still say Section 31 is at least a hair better than Star Trek 5. I would.
Ew.
Better.
I would say
No.
Section 31 is a hair better.
What does God want with a starship?
At
man?
least.
I mean that
Yeah,
alone.
but that's okay. What does God need with a starship? That's not a good line. It's made fun of because it's horrible. It's William Shatner's
the whole
ego running wild in a movie.
No doubt, like emergency with the shuttle thing, you know, B for barricade, and Scotty.
It's not that great of a
joking.
scene.
I mean,
it's just funny because it's
the row your boats, the rocket boots.
row your boat.
Listen to me.
Rocket boots that have
Section
never been
31
seen again, except in
Section
Lower Decks.
31 is our holiday special.
I mean,
Okay.
I can agree with that.
It's our holiday special.
As an insult to holiday-
Star Trek
No,
5
because
is rewatchable, at least because it has the original cast and it's somewhat
holiday
interesting.
specials can be
That makes it
good.
worse.
Like for me, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Marvel, which was basically the Mantis sort of movie, whatever, was brilliant. I loved it. You know,
He's
I
talking
give it
about the
really
Star
top
Wars
marks.
I'm
holiday
talking about the
special.
Star Wars holiday
No.
special.
Yeah, I know. You
Life
talk about the
Day,
Star Wars
buddy.
holiday, but that's
Come on, Cheeto, get this podcast under
And
control.
hey,
Some of
Star
us got to
Trek
work in the
5
morning.
Star Trek 5 had Uhura
Yeah.
serenading
that.
the prison guards.
You had that in the original
1:48 in the
series.
morning.
Like you had your singing your horror in the original series.
But she was serenading. She was
I'm
done
not
a
saying
fine
it has
job.
no good moments. I'm just saying, like, I mean, and that is one of the great moments.
It
is
has
that.
more good moments than Section 31.
I still disagree.
I can't
you know what?
argue it though because I
we-
refuse to rewatch that one.
I was just gonna say we need to do a watch along. We need to have this out during the movie.
No, we don't.
This can be a debate-mania.
Not even that, but like that for me, that one moment where they're riding their horses and Spock says, "Hold your
Again,
horses,
the
Captain."
worst
as in,
line
you're-
ever. Hold your horses. That's not even funny. That's not even funny for Spock.
It's funny because it makes sense because of
What
the
about
scenario
Shatner's
they're in,
three-breasted
holding
woman at the
horses.
bar?
Exactly. It's all awful. It is all awful.
but they are
They're not
memorable.
memorable.
I can only
They're
remember
memorable because we
the
grew up with
Irish
them.
Okay,
goddamn.
okay. Can we
The
just
Ir-
agree that they're
the
both
Irish
bad and
god-
go to bed?
Yeah, right. Like this is we're done. We're done here.
Spot killed a
Zam's
deity. You know what I mean?
Zam's
On the
Star Trek
Klingon
5
ship.
is like the Dark Knight Rises for Boss Man. Like Boss Man will defend the Dark Knight Rises till the day he dies, but
I watched it when it came out. That's it.
I don't. If anything, is a lot of people give Star Trek 5 a lot of hate.
here we go.
I don't hate that film at
I
all.
know you don't.
But Section
Section
31,
31,
I
1 out of
despise.
10. Star Trek 5 is 3 to 4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes,
There you go. This
22%.
guy knows, man. Yeah, and it had several white people in it as well. It was Distant Hope. Let's
All
not
right,
forget
everybody.
that.
I'm wrapping this
Yeah.
up. Zam, we're Star Trek 5 sucks, and so does Section 31. So let's just close with that. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for joining us
Subscribe,
here.
everyone.
We will catch you guys later. I think we're going to move back into watch-alongs next week. I think Taste of Armageddon, I think, is the next episode we're on. I didn't look it up, and I'm not going to right now. With all that being said, we are on our rocky road to WrestleMania, so there will be a SmackDown review possibly this weekend.
Marshall's tomorrow.
And what's tomorrow? Oh,
I'm reviewing. By the way, I do like conservative stuff. By the way, Tyler Sheridan is a god. I love his stuff. I can watch all his stuff all the time. And I'm reviewing one of his shows tomorrow, season 4, I believe, of Marshall, season 1, which is the spin-off of Yellowstone, and that's going to be tomorrow at some point.
and we're also apparently doing Daredevil Born Again season 2 reviews every week. So I don't know if I will be a part of those. I know Zam and Ginger did a review earlier today, so check that out, please. Or was it yesterday? It was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Check that out, please. And with all everybody, Jefferson, Zam, Lord Donkey, thank you guys for joining us here for this epic rant about just the current state of Trek and why it's just so sad to watch die. It's like it's just dying like a floundering fish on the side of a road.
Like that fish that got poked in the one episode of Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, that made sense. Goodbye.